So Rideshare Drivers United, big shout out to them. I'm going to read out the article and advice they are giving mainly Californians that are on PUA or UI or having issues with the EDD, because the EDD is coming after a lot of monies and after a lot of people and saying, hey, you got to pay us back, right? Will I owe the EDD money after they sent all of these weekly payments? A lot of people have to now pay back, but there are great ways around this. It's quite a lengthy video, explain it in great detail, and then more importantly, I'll also put the link below this video for you so you can go through it. And I would highly, highly recommend you go and share your email there and your name, because they send really, really good updates. They have the drivers and gig workers' best interest at heart, right? So Uber, Lyft, and EDD filing for unemployment insurance UI benefits as a rideshare driver in California. And this formula truly relates to most states. So whatever you're hearing or learning here, you can apply to other states. Income verification for app-based drivers on PUA. Will I owe money? Short answer, no. Converting your PUA benefits to UI will probably fix your issue. So if they do come after you, if they do claim you owe them money, you then simply go ahead and start the process of converting your PUA benefits into unemployment benefits, and that should fix the issue. Now, that's the short answer. The long answer, recently many drivers on PUA have received correspondence from EDD asking for income verification for the purpose of ensuring the correct benefit amount. All PUA recipients who are getting more than the minimum of $167 are receiving the same instructions to verify their earnings. And I've heard a lot of people receive this letter. Because PUA benefit amount is calculated based on net income, some drivers are reporting a negative balance after turning in their income documents, as their benefit amount was calculated based on gross income. Drivers have reported much concern that they will have to pay back EDD for this overpayment. But here's the deal. As app-based drivers, we are employees under the law during the time we earn the income that our benefits were calculated on. So we are actually supposed to be receiving regular UI, which is based on gross income and should not result in the mistake of overpayment. Very important one, ladies and gentlemen. Because Lyft and Uber never followed the law and did not report our wages to EDD, we are considered misclassified employees and are supposed to receive UI. We were given PUA in error. No misclassified driver should pay a penny back for miscalculated PUA benefits. We understand that EDD is an agreement that misclassified workers like Lyft and Uber drivers should have been put on UI. By being on UI, there should be no overpayments because UI benefits are calculated on gross income. So it should be easy, right? EDD just needs to make sure to convert all misclassified drivers to UI, and the error goes away. Should be easy, but the problem is that EDD is not sure how to separate misclassified workers from people who are legitimate independent contractors. This means we as drivers must directly request it to be converted to UI and tell them that we were misclassified Lyft Uber drivers. Very, very important. So you can read this in the link. What I do want to say at this point, let's for some reason say they automatically stopped or deducted monies or pulled monies out of your account because they claim that they overpaid you and they shouldn't have given you the money. You have to bring this argument that I'm putting forth here, that they are sharing with us, right? And that means you have to start the dialogue with the EDD, converting you from a PUA to a UI, right? last resort, very, very last resort, if they don't budge, I would sue. I would take such a matter to small claims court, for example, or maybe you get yourself a labor attorney, right, that understands more about this. So why convert? Why convert to UI? 2 reasons to convert to UI. No overpayment, miscalculation, receives benefits longer. Regular UI is based on gross income, not net, which should mean significantly higher benefits for drivers than PUA. This not causing issues around overpayment related to gross income. Regular UI can be extended up to 59 weeks, whereas PUA is over 12/31/20. Lyft and Uber will have to pay the state for UI instead of taxpayers who foot the bill for PUA. One reason to make calculations before requesting conversion if you are earning the PUA minimum of $167. According to EDD, they will not ask people receiving minimum PUA benefits of $167 a week to verify their earnings. Initiating the request to convert to UI could be helpful if you need to extend those benefits longer than the end of the year, as UI benefits can extend up to 59 weeks. Please note, however, UI minimum benefits is much lower than PUA minimum, $40 versus $167 per week. To receive at least $167 weekly in UI, your earnings for Lyft and Uber in the 18 months prior to filing for unemployment would need to be average around $367 per week, or $4,250 in a 3-month period. You can calculate how much your benefit on UI would be on this webpage. And again, the calculator link, I'll leave it below. Please make your own calculation before requesting a UI conversion. How to convert. To tell EDD you want to convert your UI, you may do it in any and all of these ways. Number 1, do EDD's income verification process with a request to convert. If you have received a letter saying you need to verify your income for PUA, alert EDD in that process that you are misclassified and need to be converted to UI. Begin the process of earnings verification. They will send you this website, Income Documentation Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. The link is there. Number 2, send your 1099 as earnings verification as instructed. EDD will push for a tax paperwork such as a Schedule C, but the own webpage also says you can send any information that will verify your income. We recommend sending your 1099s as it properly lists your gross income. Include this note in your process. I have been incorrectly, that's the verbiage that you can grab there, I have been incorrectly put on PUA. I'm a Lyft Uber driver and was misclassified as an independent contractor by my employer. I request to immediately be moved from PUA to UI and request a wage audit. That's it. That's basically the legal language that covers you. Number 2, if you have already verified your wage earnings through this process but have not requested a move to UI, use the same language and call and contact through the app EDD using the same language as above. Number 3, alert EDD you need to be converted through our legal advocates. In addition, if you need to move from PUA to UI, you may also put your name on this Google form. We will forward these names to the EDD through our legal advocates, and EDD has promised to forward these names to the wage auditor to start your process of converting to UI. Right? And there's Google Doc forms that you can download there and put your name on there. Please know that this process is extremely frustrating. Drivers experience a lot of misinformation from EDD telephone operators. Don't listen to them. Just ask to have a wage audit and to speak with an auditor. The auditors know the situation and no misclassified drivers are able to receive UI. So again, the big thing here is the people on the phone generally don't know much about it. You have to communicate with an auditor, right? Once you have a wage auditor, they know the situation, and if you can get their direct phone line or email in case you have future questions. Okay. For more information, our latest Facebook Live can be found here. Again, we'll drop the links in there, as well as in Spanish. We will continue to update this page as we find out more information. Am I eligible for UI now that Prop 22 has passed? Yes. Unemployment insurance UI is based on the 18 months of employee earnings previous to when you filed your claim. So your current claim, safe. It was based on your best quarter of 18 months previous to your claim, all worked. While we still had basic labor rights as drivers and rights to UI, once Prop 22 comes into effect, the work you do will not be employment under California law. So that work will not qualify you in the future for UI, but you may qualify for UI based on work you did before the law came into effect. Note, the law will go into effect sometime in the middle of December, depending on when the election results are finalized. So the election results have to be finalized in order for this Prop 22 law to go into effect. If you need to apply for UI for the first time, your work as an app-based driver anytime before mid-December will count towards UI. This chart shows the driving that will qualify you for UI if you file for the first time in 2021. So take a screenshot of that, have a look at it at the link. The yellow highlights show the TNC driver work that is qualifies someone for UI benefits if you begin your claim in 2021. This chart is adapted from a form from the EDD fact sheet. Again, the link below. Now, I'm on PUA, but isn't UI better? Can I get on UI? Answer is yes. If you are on PUA based on driving for Lyft or Uber before December 2020, you're actually supposed to be on UI, as you accrued those earnings under California law as an employee. By getting onto UI, you will have greater benefits. Benefits extend up to 59 weeks instead of being over on 12, 31, 20 like PUA. Benefits are based on gross earnings, not net, so your calculation for benefits will be greater. Because of the recent letters from EDD to PUA, recipients saying they owe money because their benefit was based on gross instead of net, we're recommending drivers use the instructions below to ask EDD to convert their benefits to UI because they were misclassified employees. The fact that we were even on PUA is because Lyft and Uber were not following law, and EDD mistakenly put us on PUA. We have also sent a letter to EDD asking them to quit sending these letters and instead move misclassified drivers to UI automatically. It is our position that no driver should owe any money based on being put on PUA in error. Now, it is totally worth exploring this in all states because this PUA takes effect in all states and you have unemployment in all states. So the legal argument does not only apply for California, should apply for all states. Drivers' best bet is to ask EDD to convert them to UI. You'll need to tell them you've been mistakenly been put on PUA because you are a misclassified employee as a Lyft Uber driver and follow our instructions below. As we find out more, we will put that information here. UI is better than PUA for rideshare drivers and other misclassified workers in California. Here's why. App-based drivers and other gig workers are considered employees and absolutely qualify for unemployment insurance UI in California. Because Lyft and Uber have defied the law and issued 1099s, for us, we are considered misclassified. The state and EDD see us as employees, but our bosses don't. That's crystal clear. By the California state guidelines on UI versus PUA, the support for workers not eligible for UI are confusing. Are we self-employed independent contractors eligible for PUA, or are we misclassified employees? Most drivers who have applied to UI already have been accepted to the UI program, but their benefits so far are $0. Why? because the state wants to verify our wage data and Uber and Lyft aren't giving it to them, right? So understandably, there is a tremendous amount of confusion and frustration right now. With guidance from Legal Aid at Work, legalaid@work.org, we stand firmly that regular UI is our best way to access benefits. Here are two charts comparing the benefits. UI versus PUI, amount of benefits you can receive, plus other differences. Click here. So you can click on that one, on that link over there, it'll explain it. The state promises quick action on PUA, pandemic unemployment assistance, with an online application available on 4/28 and people quickly receiving payments. For those of us applying for UI, the process of verifying our income has taken way too long. Some of us sit accepted into the program but with zero benefits because the state is working to verify our earnings with Uber Lyft. We are working aggressively to push EDD to streamline state UI money to misclassified workers like ourselves. Good news is most drivers report eventually receiving their full UI benefits, but for everyone this far, it has been a lengthy process as the state has to find other ways to verify our income because Uber and Lyft are not following the law and don't report our earnings. In addition, many of the frontline phone operators at EDD don't have the correct information about misclassified workers like ourselves or the process. The frustration about this is sky high with drivers. We should be paid now, and we should be receiving our state benefit based on our past income and the additional $600 federal benefit. So what should we do? Our advice: file for a regular UI. Best instructions are below. How to file for unemployment. That's how to do it, right? Here, gather your wage information. You will need to gather the information you will need for the process first. The UI process asks for your gross income month by month over 18 months. This can be official 1099s or whatever tax information you receive during your driver's apps. If you grossed more than $46,000 in the last year, you're eligible to receive the maximum UI benefits of $450 weekly. And you don't have to break down all your earnings because UI is determined by your highest gross earnings in a quarter. You may be able to secure a higher benefit if you break down your earnings for the last 18 months by quarter. Figuring out your gross by quarter can be a chore. If you receive 1099s, you may receive a 1099K and a 1099 miscellaneous. Your 1099K breaks down your monthly earnings, so it's easy to figure out your quarterly. If your 1099Ks show any quarter where you have earned more than $11,700, you're good and will be eligible for the max without doing much more math. If it's less than that, you'll want to divide your 1099 miscellaneous by 4 and add that to your best quarter. Still not at 11,700 for a quarter, you may have to go deeper. Some of us only receive tax info for the year via the app. If you need to break down your earnings on a monthly basis to show your quarterly gross earnings accurately and hopefully get a higher benefit, we've got specific information on how to do that within the Uber and Lyft apps. Uber process and Lyft process, the links are there. Right, and by the way, the link to this article with all the links is beneath the video. If you have a lot of figuring to do, you may find these worksheets helpful, the Uber worksheet and the Lyft worksheet, or if you have Excel, you can download this form and it does some automatic figuring for you. Excel quarterly earnings worksheet, there it is. You can download that. Save your tax documents and your calculations for the quarterly totals, as you will need to share this data over and over again in the process. Begin process on EDD website. There it is. Our guide, we developed this guide which will walk you through the process of filing the website. The EDD website is being updated on a daily basis, but the basics are here. Though this may be slightly behind, we are updating it regularly to match their updates. Step-by-step guide to file for unemployment in California. There it is, right? Frequently asked questions: do I apply as an employee? What do I put as an Uber and Lyft's information? Will I need to apply for the federal aid too? Can I file for UI as an immigrant? What is my UI award based on? I filed several weeks ago, but I don't have benefits yet. When will the benefits start? All of those questions you can read below. I was certified, but my benefit is zero. How do I fix that? If you received a $0 benefit, this is probably because Lyft and Uber ignore the law that requires them to report driver earnings to the state. So Dara Khosrowshahi and John Zimmer have told their department, you do not supply the EDD with any of those earning information. So they are screwing this entire system up, right? Illegal. I would almost say criminal. You'll have to go through the process with EDD to verify your earnings. If your benefit was smaller than it should be and not based on all your lost earnings, the process will help you as well. Right now, there are two things you have to do on the web and in the mail. File a correction via the EDD website, log on to UI Online, click the UI Online button, and then click the Contact Us tab on the right side of the web page. Select claim questions under the question category drop-down menu, then select missing wages from claims. From the question topic drop-down menu, briefly state why EDD does not have your wage information. If you drive for Uber and Lyft, you can write the following, filling in the appropriate information. I'm an employee driver of which company. I was misclassified by the companies as an independent contractor, and my notice of award does not reflect the wages I earned while working for Uber or Lyft. I'm sending proof of my earning via tax information via US mail. Please let me know if I can get it to you via online. According to the 1099K I received from Uber or Lyft, I earned X amount of dollars between January and March, earned X amount of dollars between April and June, earned X amount of dollars between July and September, and earned X amount of dollars between October and December. According to the 1099K for 2018, I earned X amount of dollars between October and December 2018. According to my 1099 miscellaneous, I additionally earned X amount dollars in 2019 and X amount dollars in 2018. Repeat that for every company that failed to report your earnings to the state. So you've got to do the same thing for Uber, the same thing for Lyft. If you did not receive a 1099 miscellaneous or a 1099K, use the tax info provided by the company as outlined in your step-by-step UI guide above. This is common for a part-time driver. Click submit. You can also watch this video to navigate you through this process. There's a video, there's a YouTube video, right? File a correction via US post mail. When you receive your certification letter, mail it back with these corrections and additions. Cross out the zeros and write in the appropriate amounts to the address listed on the upper left-hand corner of the Notice of Unemployment Insurance Award. See an example of this below. Attach 1099s or other evidence of wages in each of your claims. Keep copies of everything you send in. Okay? So once you've applied, certify bi-weekly. You will start getting weekly correspondence from the EDD asking questions about your work. Even if they have not awarded you a weekly benefit yet, you must respond. Continue certify while they are still processing your claim. You can certify in various ways. Certify online at this address, certify on mobile at this address, certify by phone, and use option 2. Phone is 1-866-333-4606 and select option 2. Here are our recommendations for filling out the questionnaire based on advice from legal aid work. Answer all questions and honestly, and here are a few tips. Question 2 is confusing. Was there any reason other than sickness or injury that you could not have accepted full-time work? Each workday answer, no. If you could not have accepted work, even if you could not find work because of the pandemic. Question 4 can confuse people too. Did you refuse any work? You can answer no, even if you did not log into Uber or Lyft. It's always important to be available to work and not refuse work while receiving unemployment insurance benefits. There it is. So I will leave this link for you beneath the video. This is a nice long video. So far we're up to 25 minutes. I will give a huge shout out. And by the way, you have a link beneath the video where you get 1 month free of the gig protection plan, KOVER, K-O-V-E-R. Every gig worker should have it. Only starts at $7 a month. All the benefits and perks you need in one membership, ladies and gentlemen. 24/7 health service, automatic mileage tracking, sick leave, paid time off, legal protection, and so much more. Now, with legal protection, it is very possible down the line that you could get wrongfully terminated or deactivated over a false report, right? That is where you want to use their legal protection, and they have that with legalrideshare.com. What happens if you get deactivated over a false rider report or a delivery report? They then send out the legal paperwork and get you reinstated. More than that, what I like about the company, and again, they represent all drivers and gig workers nationwide, is that in case you get into an accident, God forbid, I hope it never happens, in case you do, in case you get injured, in case your riders get injured, in case your car is damaged, you have property damage to your car, if you have wage losses because you're out of commission for several months, like I just broke my leg, I'm out of commission for 4 months, right? You then go and let them handle the entire insurance claim process for you against the driver that, let's say, smashed into your car, right? They will bundle it up and go for the max amount. They only get paid when you get paid, and they are the best of the best in the industry. So again, huge shout out to Rideshare Drivers United, RDS. They've got a great Facebook page. Go join them, enroll on their website. I'll tell you why, because they constantly have great information coming out. They have your back, just like I'm a voice for drivers, right? They are a non-profit that is out there helping and assisting drivers. And they're really, really good when it comes to striking or protesting or getting under Uber or Lyft skin. They show up in big numbers, very often at airports in front of the HQ, right? They have been instrumental during 2020, also in the battle against Proposition 22. They've got your back. That's all I can say, and huge shout out to them. So like and subscribe. Do share the video so we get it to as many people as possible, especially this whole PUA UI conversion. I did not know about this. Now I have the verbiage. Now I have the information to share. Let's pass it on and protect everyone. Have a great day.